careers outside of the reason that we're hated, by the way. And Rogan's taking a lot of heat now because apparently he said a few things about this vaccine. Have you heard any of that? I haven't. Apparently he's weighed in on this vaccine controversy. I have not heard anything about it, but he is getting a lot of flack, and he's taken some positions that people don't like. But the bigger reason that they hate him, and a lot of them don't like me, and they hate people that are making a living on the internet, whether it's podcasting or doing whatever, is because most of the people in Hollywood live in fear. Everyone in this town, whether they have $100 million or no money, they live in fear. They live in fear of losing their job. They live in fear of becoming irrelevant. They live in fear of not being able to satiate the bloodthirsty mob on Twitter. That's why a lot of comedians we know spend most of their time apologizing for past indiscretions. They deliver pound of flesh to the mob, pound of flesh to the mob chews it up. Patton Oswalt does a guest spot on Dave Chappelle's show. People go, "You transphobic monster!" And he's got to write a soliloquy. He's got to write the beginning of a novel. I must continue to educate myself on them. I hold forth these truths to be self-evident. And they live in fear. And they live in fear because their money gets turned on and off like a faucet. They turn the money on, they turn the money on. And when they turn the money on, things are good. Things are good. There's big houses in Los Feliz with swimming pools. There's red carpets. There's people that care. There's profiles in the New York Times. What makes you tick? How did you get so funny? Did you always know you were funny? How does that work? Like, you're like so creative. I wish I was you. What does your cum taste like? Does it taste as creative as you? And they write all these articles about you and you're great. You're the first woman to ever do anything. How does that feel? How does it feel to be the first woman to ever walk the earth? And all of these articles get written and people get really excited. They get really excited and you know, you go into the coffee shop and people go, "Oh, it's you." They get a little excited. The barista gets excited. You walk in, they go, "Oh yeah, I didn't want to see anything, but I know who you are." And you know, I just say, and you get excited and you start fucking people that are way out of your league, people that are much more attractive than you, want to have sex with you because you're famous. And that's the elixir, that's the drug, the fame, and the fact that you matter. And you matter largely because an industry of people decided you should matter. They had a meeting and decided in a room that what you say should matter. Well, over the last few years, the ability of them to do that has waned. They can't do that as much. And a lot of those people that were famous and rich, they were coasting and they were told exactly what to say and how to say it. And they didn't say anything that would ruffle feathers. And they stayed in the line of this just kind of, mainstream liberal, after school special, kind of Hallmark movie, feel good shit, and then retired to their mansions to do blow and have fun. Now what's happening is you have all these new people on the internet whose views and ideas are much more in line with the American public. Number one, we have views and ideas, right? We have thoughts. And those thoughts are actually more mainstream than a lot of these Hollywood actors and comedians that don't think at all and have made a career not really thinking about anything in a way that could upset or hurt their career. So when they go and do podcasts, they don't really do well because they're scripted and it's odd and stilted, and they get on there and they basically try to they're not authentic, and people can smell it and feeling, well, this isn't really working. And Hollywood right now and academia, they've kind of been captured. They've been captured by kind of radicals, right? People that hold views that are vastly different from the majority of the American people. And when most people in Hollywood don't really have these views, they just want to be rich. But then there are a few people that have these views and want these views telegraphed in every piece of art. So if you want to be in any of these things, you have to either hold these views or quietly abstain from ever challenging them. But that doesn't work online, right? It doesn't really work because people want authenticity. They want you to be real and say the shit that you feel and think, which is what Joe Rogan does. It's what I do. It's what people do. And you take heat for it and you take flack. But it works and we make money and we sell tickets. And the people that are part of that old system that are kind of dying are angry about it. They're not thrilled with that. This has never been a business where people really enjoy each other's success. That's not really what it is. I mean, watch the award show. Somebody wear polite clown, yeah, whatever. Right? People really just want each other to fail. There's not enough seats at the table. So these people are angry and they're mad, and then they're trying to grab the attention of tech and going, shut them down. Shut it off. Shut this off now. Shut it off. We want them to watch things that we make. Now we need them to know that we are the only option for entertainment. So that's why I read a million tweets a day that are subtweet. They're always going at me. In rap, they would be like, it's subliminals. They call me all these names. Oh, I didn't get into comedy to be Rush Limbaugh. Never mind that the positions I advocate are vastly different from most mainstream conservatives. I don't like people getting stabbed at the furniture store. I do think that's wrong. That's now made me right wing. I don't realize where left wing became pro stabbing at the furniture store. But this is what you see happening. But they don't care about facts or reality. They just care that I have money and viewers and they don't. And that's really what it comes down to with Rogan. Rogan has the platform, so all these doctors sign this letter to Spotify, like, the misinformation it's wrong. And what Rogan's doing is having conversations with people that have a different view of how COVID should be treated. Many of them are advocating early treatment instead of vaccines. Now, you can have that debate. You can have that conversation. You shouldn't shut it down. You don't have to be an anti-vax lunatic to entertain a reasonable conversation. The vast majority, I think, of people that watch and enjoy Rogan are probably vaccinated. I'm vaccinated. A lot of people are vaccinated. But also at the third booster, when everyone's sick, it's also reasonable to have a conversation about, are these things working as well as you wanted them to work? But so this is why you have the problems that you have. And they will continue. They'll continue until someone wins. Could be the internet. It could be, I don't know who's going to win. I've hedged my bets. I don't know what's going to happen. But that's why people are angry. They're angry because if they're forced to compete in our world where they themselves have to have thoughts, opinions, and ideas and make them funny and be authentic, which is something they've never done and don't know how to do. They're creations. They don't exist. They're a character they've been playing for a very long time. Well, then they're going to fail miserably. So they need to be in a world where they're protected and insulated from that. You don't know what any of these people, and I don't want to know what actors think either. I just want to have this stop attacking us. I don't want to know what people, I don't want to know what Timothée Chalamet thinks about trade. Let them do whatever they're going to do. Entertain us, that's fine. But the anger seems to be sort of one way. I don't care that I'm not on Bull. But every comic and all of these people can't stand that there's now options out there. People don't have to listen to them. People don't have to buy a ticket to see them. It doesn't matter how many puff pieces they run on them at the Times or wherever. People have options now, and that's what they hate.